All right, so I thought I would give you another like real life representation of me making a pod so you can see how I do it. This is for chapter 9, section 3. So I created a pod, I named it, and then I set it as a lesson, and this is how it came up. I'm going to take off questions in random order just because I don't like that. And I am using my Vital Source copy. It's a digital book of the textbook. It's a place where you can actually go in and like I bought the book through Christian Book, but then I went to Vital Source and redeemed the code, and it added it to my library, and it was a third of the cost of the textbook. So I am using this to I'm actually renting the book, so I only have it for a year, which I think is all I'll really need in order to make all the pods for this particular book. So what I do is I open these two windows side by side, and I just start by copying all the questions. So I'm going to do that now. And as soon as I paste a question in, I create a new question, and then I go back and copy. And then even if it's more than one question, I do that for the sake of keeping the answers straight whenever I go to type the answers in. And you'll see what I'm talking about in just a moment. All right, I need a new question here. And I know this is a little fast, but this is the best way to get through it, is to just paste each question as it's written in the book. And then once I get it into the pod, I'll adjust it. And what I can do is I can actually let you borrow my login for Vital Source, and then you can pull up the same book just like this, and then it'll make your work a little faster too once you get to the point where you are wanting to take over. It's just so much easier. It was worth the $20 to me to not have to scan every page of the book in, and to have it do it, not have the copy nice and clean straight from the publisher. All right, now that I have all the questions in, I think I'm going to do one more because there's not a whole lot of terms here. All right, that's my final question. So now I go back and I just type in the answer to the first question and mark it correct. This is name 3 of the early church apologists. So this, I'm going to change it to a multiple answer where they can select the number. And I'm going to type their names in individually. And I'm just going to mark those correct. And I'm going to put their work next to them. But I can type well. So all I'm doing is I'm typing in the correct answers first. and marking it correct. All right. I just do kind of a when it is a long answer that I intend to do multiple choice, I just shorten it. So I don't do everything that he did. I do the overarching idea, which is that he translated scripture, and then that's the correct answer. All right, this is again going to be multiple answer because it's just easier than making them a list in a multiple choice. I have to come up with fewer names that way. And Chrysostom. All right, those two are correct. This is number 8. That's Augustine. This will be a multiple answer. Athanasian Creed. So those are all the correct answers. This is number 11. All right, so these are all the correct answers. I have all the correct answers in here for this. So now what I'll do is I'll go back to the first one, and I will just look at the list in the book of all the people that are in the book, and then I'll just add some of the people that are in the book just to, distract them. Maybe they will or will not get it right. I just make sure I don't type this name twice. And I keep doing that. So I'm going to add 2 more here. I think I'll add 3 more. And I'm going to add Aurelian. I'm going to make up a work. And it's going to be, I'm going to say it's the book of Matthew. And we're going to put Papias, and we'll call it the Trojan War. Well, actually, we'll call it the Iliad. And then I'll do another one, and we'll call it, this will be Jerome, and we'll call it Revelation. So that could be confusing unless they've read the book and they know that it's just made up nonsense, right? So then I'll just go through and I'll get another list here of just some names. And I'll just to throw them off, I'll make sure I don't type in the same name that I have up there already. All right, and now because I have 2 of these, I will Control X, make a new question, and Control V. And I'm going to put his name in here. And the guy was Irenaeus. Let me copy that. What was Irenaeus's work called? And then I go back to my answers. And that was against all heresies. If I can spell it, S-I-E-S. Okay, against all heresies, that's correct. And then I'll just type in something else. I'll say, I'll copy and paste. And I'll change this word at the end. I'll change this one to heroes. I'll change this to gods. I'll change this to Christians. And I'll change this to, if I can spell Christians, you would think I could spell that. And then I'll change this to religions. All right, so there's something that they can, pick from. All right, now again, I'll just put in some names that are from the list of names in the answer key. Maximinus, Thrax. All right, now I'll just keep doing that for every single one that has a list of names. All right, for this one, I'll just make up some things. The important accomplishment of Jerome was that he translated scripture. I'm going to put that he traveled to China. I'm going to put that he, let's see, met the emperor. I would say he discipled, because that sounds like that would be important. Let's say he fed Jesus fish. And let's say he became a bishop of Lyons. That was somebody else. We'll just ignore. There we go. I'll add some more blanks here. And I'll throw in some more names. This name, two great preachers of the 4th century AD. I'll put Ignatius. I'm going to put Justin Martyr. And I'm going to put Perpetua. All right. Augustine is correct. Let's put Decius, Origen, Aurelian, and Galerius. All right, now I have a second question. It says, what 2 works did he write? So this is Augustine, so Control X. What 2 works did Augustine write? And I'm going to make this a multiple answer. And I'm going to say point per item, and for however many they got right. What 2 works did Augustine write? I'm going to go back to my answers, and I am going to say it's Confessions and City of God. Those are the 2 correct. So I'm going to put in some more. I'm going to put the Nicene Creed. I'm going to put against all heresies, and I'm going to put apology, because those are all written, or works that were written. Let's see, in that time period. So I'm going to come up with just some other creeds. I'm going to say the oh goodness, what's the name of that? Freemason Creed. And I'm going to put the Catholic Creed. Catholic, capital C, not lowercase c, so it doesn't confuse anybody. All right. Give the date. All right, so here I'm just going to make up some dates that are close, that include those numbers. All right, so those are just some options there. I'm going to put in, was there only one? Oh, no, there was two. Name 3 other church councils. So I'm going to Control X. And I'm going to put a new question in. I'm going to Control V. And I'm going to look. Okay, so this is going to be a multiple answer per item. Pick the number, and I'm going to put in those 3. Constantinople, Ephesus, and Chalcedon. I guess that's the right way to say that. Those are the ones that are correct. Let's put Jerusalem, just because I'm going to throw in some words that they know. And let's put in Rome. And let's do one more. Let's do... It's another city. I'll look at my list of city locations back in here. Places. I'm going to put Nicaea because it was a place, or it was a group, the Council of Nicaea, and that could be confusing. All right, so I have a bunch of questions in this one, so I'm going to go ahead and get through these names here. Diocletian. And I'm going to try to put the names of emperors, and that way it'll confuse them because they're all emperor names, so it's not just one guy that's an emperor. All right, so I am going to he made Christianity the only legal religion, so I'm going to Control X. I'm going to add a question. I'm going to Control V. Let me look at my answer book, my answer key. So the answer is, it filled churches with false converts. That's the correct answer. I'm going to make up some answers that might sound right. What kind of effect did this have on Christianity? And the effect was, what effect did, take out this, making Christianity the only legal religion have on Christianity? Filled churches with false converts. Filled church coffers with gold. Made false prophets, which might actually have been an effect. Let's see. Promoted a peaceful existence and led to a flood of true believers. All right, so now I'm going to take this last question, Control X. I'm going to cut it, new question, and paste it. How did Christianity affect life in the 4th and 5th centuries? And that answer is it established a day of rest, helped end slavery. I'm going to make this a multiple answer. So there's 2. Helped end gladiatorial combats and human sacrifices. So all of these are correct. I'm going to add one more. Helped make people nicer. Helped people find prosperity. And helped make evangelists famous. Well, let's do helped the economy. Well, the same as this one. So let's see. Let's say helped the struggle with all right, what can I say? Helped create hospitals. Let's do that. All right, so make people nicer, help people find prosperity. This one, like getting rid of all that, actually does do that. So let's say helped build libraries. That's better. All right. So they have 4 points for this. Now this one I set up as a matching. So we're going to match the terms. Church fathers, apologists, oops, wrong one. Apologists, Gnosticism, monarchianism, creeds, one more, Arianism. All right, those are the terms, and I'm going to take those out. Match the terms to their definitions. There's my instructions. All right, so now I look in my book and I look for the definitions of these, of what it says they are. So I'm looking in my answer key now for church fathers, and those are preachers and teachers who expounded the scriptures, defended the faith, and championed the cause of Christ after the close of the apostolistic, where's that age? Apostolistic age. All right. Apologists. So that should be in here somewhere. Christians who attempted to reasonably defend Christianity against pagan defamations. All right. It's not Gnosticism. It's Gnosticism, Tracy. Alright, Gnosticism. It's not Gnosticism, it's Gnosticism. There we go, that's spelled right. The heresy which combined elements of Greek philosophy. I have to say it funny in order to spell it right. All right, monarchism. And creeds are statements of beliefs, confessions of faith. And Arianism. Where is Arianism? It's got to be in here somewhere. A false doctrine that denies the deity of Christ. All right, so now they have apostolic, not apostolistic. There we go, apostolic. All right, so now they have a matching. So we can preview this, and I'll just click preview and go through it. Just looking at it, making sure everything looks pretty good. Here's your matching. And that's it. That's all of the questions. All right. So that's done. So that's how you would make a pod using the questions in the book and using the teacher key. Copy and paste the questions, type in the right answer, and mark it correct. Then go back and format your questions however you want to, whether it's multiple answer, multiple choice, long answer, matching, sorting, whatever you think is good for that question. And then those that have multiple questions. All right, so here's one. Which early Christian writer was commended? Name 3 early church fathers or pupils. So I didn't see this one, so I need to Control X and put a new question in here and Control V. Now I've got to name 3 early church fathers. So that's why you want to go back and look at it, just in case you missed something. So that was question number 1. So I'm going to list these guys. Paul. Wrong one. This is Ignatius, Polycarp, and Papias. All right, these are correct. Per item, any number. And then I'm going to put some names in here. Paul and Matthew, just for funsies. All right, so that's it. I'm just going to make sure everything looks good. Again, I'm going to go through preview and look for questions to be single questions. All right, everything looks good. All right, done. Okay, so there's 18 questions for this pod. They're all either multiple choice, multiple answer, or matching. So you shouldn't have to grade it, but you do have to apply scores once they have submitted it. All right, and that's done. So now all I'm going to do is I'm going to copy these over from my pod list to your pod list. So I'm going to search for WH911, and I'm going to copy section 1, 2, and 3 over to you. All right, okay, done there. Now I'm going to go to your dashboard, and I have it in 6 where I have everything planned out. So I'm going to go to section 1, and I'm going to attach the Juno pod for section 1. Attach. Okay, and then I'm going to let students redo it anytime, set it online, show to students, show it on calendar, read chapter 9, section 1, and complete the Juno pod questions. All right, I'm going to copy that, Control C. All right, so now this is ready to roll, but I need to click done. I need to put it in your other 2 classes. Okay, the other 2 classes, I just have your 6th period class planned out for the rest of the semester. I don't have that in your 4th period class or your 3rd period class. You can see the only thing that's in here is what you've put in here. So I'm going to go back to this, and I'm going to click on that assignment, and I'm going to say copy over to 3rd period and 4th period, and I'm going to say okay. And now I'm going to set that online here, and then 4th period has to be set online as well. Where did it go? Okay, so oh, I know what happened. Let me delete this. Anything that already has something named that, which I for some reason copied this over. Let me delete that. All right, so now this should not be in here. Okay. Let me make sure that this is not in here. All right, this shouldn't be in here either. All right, done. All right, so now I'll go back to number 6, which is where I have it all planned. I'm going to click here, and I'm going to say copy to number 4 right here. Okay. So now it's all set in here, and I can set it online. Done. So there's section 1. It's ready in this one. It's ready in this one. And I'm going to go ahead and have all of next week done so that I can take a break before, or not take a break, but have a breather. I won't have to get everything in over the weekend. So let me go back to 6, and I'll do section 2 and section 3 and chapter 9 before I leave on vacation. I'll get those out today, and I'll make sure that I have everything through the 22nd of October done for all of your classes before I go on vacation. And then next week when I get back, I can start working on the rest of them. But your 6th period class is where I have your plan of all your sections all done, and that's where I'm going to stick them. So that's kind of the way, it's the way that I do my work, is I go ahead and I plan what I'm going to do on my dashboard, and then I just come back and backfill with the Juno pod and put it online for the students after the fact. And it makes it easier. As you can see, let me show you Algebra 2. So I have all my lessons planned, but I don't have the pods written. So what I do is I'll write the pod and then I'll attach it. I'll write the pod and then I'll attach it. But I already have the plan made. And that works for me so that I don't have to actually have a separate lesson plan written down anywhere. It's all in Jupyter and it keeps me organized. But anyway, I just wanted to show that to you, that I am going to get that done. And I wanted to show you how I'm doing it. And I can message you my my password, my username and password, and the website to get in and look at my books so that you can copy and paste just as easily. All you'll need then is the teacher key in front of you to type in the correct answers. All right. That's all I have, Miss Mona. I know this is a long one, but I hope that this helped you to write, to do more of the pods and to get the hang of it. And let's see, I'll just go ahead and set these up. I have section 2 ready. So I'll paste those directions that I copied and change this to section 2. I'll attach the Junopod that I made for section 2. All right, let students redo it anytime, show, and then I'm done. And then what I have to do is set it online and then copy this over to your 3rd period and your 4th period class. And then say okay. And if you look at your 4th period class, it's not online. You have to actually set those online manually. But now your 3rd period class has section 2, and your 4th period class has section 2. So I go back to 6th period, click section 3, paste in my instructions and change that section number to 3. And then I attach the Junopod. So you can write the Junopods ahead of time and then attach them as you need to. Let students redo this anytime. Show. And then you have to click done. And then you can come back and click copy and put it in 3rd period and 4th period. Then once you do that, you have to set it online for 4th period and 3rd period. And then you're done. And so you have all sections here for 3rd period and all the sections for 4th period and all the sections for 6th period. So I'm going to write the quiz next, and then I'll add those in, and you'll have next week already set up. Or next week will already be set up. And just for the record, I get back on the 17th. So I'll be here the 18th, 19th, and 20th. And I'll use that time to do the next couple of weeks and get those done for you. I would like to get all the way through November done next week so that I can work on catching math up and getting it ahead. And that is all, finally, that I have to show you for right now. But if you want to borrow my bookshelf while I'm gone and try playing around and writing some pods, go for it. Maybe what you do is pick chapter 16 and start writing pods for chapter 16. You can write pods ahead of time into the next semester, and just keep them in your list of materials. You don't have to attach them to an assignment. You just keep them. Like you hold them in reserve. They're not attached to a semester. They're attached to your username, and they're in your list of materials. So anyway, it's been about 40 minutes. I'm going to let you go because I know this is probably taking a large chunk of your time. And I will see you when I get back.